So I probably should have taken a video of this earlier, but I didn't really think about it until I had it apart. One thing you do have to do, I guess it was really the only thing that really fought me when I was taking out the factory BOSE head units. The CD player came out really easy. It slid out, and then there was just you could reach up behind and disconnect it from the backside. It just had a plug-in into the cassette radio player. But then in order to get the cassette/radio out, that fought me a little bit, and the only reason is that there's two antennas. I'm not sure why, but they have two antennas that were hooked up to the radio, and the disconnect point for them is right behind this cover. You can kind of reach up underneath behind and pull them out. So in order to access that, you need to remove the glove box door, which I have already done, obviously. There's just two screws, one on each side, that you pull up, you unscrew from the bottom, and then you can slightly lift up from the backside and pull out the glove box door. It's super simple. Once you look at it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And then there was just a couple pieces of plastic, like little side panels, kick panels. They are just held on. There's a couple of pop pins, and that's it. Those pop right off, and then you can access that. And then just the complete opposite for reassembly. Super easy, but it is something you have to do. Took me a while to kind of figure that out, and then once I did, I of course looked up and I found out that it's been covered before online, but I could not find a video, so there you go. Having a 93 FD Rx7 has the factory BOSE, it's a touring model. The BOSE speakers all seem to be okay, but the head units, the CD player and the radio, they were shot. They did no longer work, so I wanted to just go to a newer single DIN CD player and just put a pocket underneath. A lot of guys cut out the middle piece of plastic and put in double DINs. I don't really care. I mean, it's not really for me, and to be honest, I think the single DIN kind of looks a little more period correct for these cars anyway, so that's it. The MEX-N5300BT, it's CD player, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, all a bunch of stuff that I probably won't use anyway. So I bought the head unit and kit, everything from Crutchfield. This was just a standard adapter kit to plug into the FD harness that I bought through them. I bought this Scosche adapter from them, and then that was just the wiring harness that came with the CD player. Now, a couple notes, I guess. So the Scosche, the purpose of this is that with this factory BOSE sound system, each speaker has its own amplifier. The head unit didn't really put out any power. These newer CD players do. So what the Scosche is supposed to do is to kind of mimic the power output of the factory BOSE head unit. Now, what you're supposed to do is turn the volume up to like 75%, and then turn these up until you get distortion, and then turn them down a little bit. I turned the volume up to 75% and turned those all up to max, and I wasn't getting very much distortion. It was loud, but it wasn't quite distorted, so I guess I just left them there. So every one of these on the output side are totally clockwise up to maximum on each one, and then on the input side you don't use these, so you just turn those down to counterclockwise down to 0, and that was it for that. Now let's see here. So there's a blue wire with a white stripe right here that needs to do two things. Typically it'll power your amp wire, so that your amps actually kick on when you turn the ignition on, and then it can also be used as power for the power antenna. Now, when Crutchfield sent me this, they had spliced the amp wire and the antenna wire into this both, and I ended up just taking out the antenna wire because I'm not using the power antenna anyway. I don't listen to FM radio. I just use Bluetooth and stuff anyway, so I just took it out and marked it for the next owner. Now, and then this white wire, blue wire with the white stripe, does need to go up to, looks like the third spot over from the top left on this larger connector, and then on the factory side it'll be the blue wire with the black stripe, and that's just your power to the amp relay, so it kicks on all the amps. And that's really, I guess, it. I did have to hook up another ground from the CD player, but that's super easy. Pretty much put that anywhere. Yeah, so I will, I don't know, take a video or some pictures, I guess, when I get it finished up installing it. There's the Metra part number. 88-00-9000. For the singled in as the pocket kit, it comes with a couple sets of brackets. For the RX7, the FD, you need to use these brackets, and it comes with the mounting screws. You just locate them, throw the screws in. It's a very soft plastic. Those screws aren't meant to really, they're just meant to really locate these things, not really meant to be torqued down on. So do not over torque those, they will strip out. You're just looking to pretty much hold them in place still. So then it will slide into the singled in slot underneath the CD player. Comes with a couple extra of the face plates too, thin, medium, and thick. And then so there's plenty of room for the pocket in here. Pretty deep. It's got room for 3 CD cases. I don't know anybody that carries CD cases around anymore, but it's just nice to have that a little extra room since there's pretty much no storage in these cars. So it works. Nice thing is it's all factory BOSE speakers. You don't have to cut into any of the factory wiring harness. Plug and play once you figure out everything you need to do. It's not hard, it's just that information is just, nobody really keeps these BOSE speaker systems with these head units, so the information is just kind of tough to find, but it's super straightforward once you know what you're doing. I think that's it.